You know that feeling, right? You have spent years learning English, you have got the grammar rules down. But when you actually get into a real conversation, something just feels, well, awkward. It doesn't sound right. We are going to close that gap, and we are going to do it by looking at some really simple, high impact phrases that totally change the game. I bet this feels familiar to a lot of you. You can nail a grammar test, write a perfect email, but then in a meeting or just grabbing coffee, the words just don't flow. The thing is, the problem isn't how much English you know, it's the kind of English you are reaching for. And here's what I mean right here on the screen: textbook English. It's correct, sure, but can sound a bit robotic. I don't understand. It's flat, yeah? But confident English, that's engaging. Could you break that down for me? See the difference? One sounds like you have hit a wall, and the other sounds like you are leaning in. And that's the big shift we are making today. All right, first up, let's dive into a situation we all face: needing help or getting clarification, especially at work. The goal here is pretty simple. We want to sound engaged and on the ball, not like we are totally lost. And believe me, the right phrases make all the difference. So picture this: at a big meeting, your boss is explaining something super technical and you are completely lost. What's your first instinct? For a lot of people, it's just to say, I don't understand, but that can come across a little weak, a little passive. So here is the trick: you've got to reframe it. Instead of just saying that you are lost, you're actively asking for more information. Phrases like, could you break that down for me? Or, I want to make sure I'm on the same page are gold. They show you are trying to connect the dots, not just giving up. Even something simple like, sorry, could you repeat that? I missed it, is way better because it takes ownership and sounds so much professional. And this goes way beyond just clarifying a point in a meeting. It's about how you ask for help in pretty much any situation. The context is everything. That old generic, can you help me? It just doesn't cut it most of the time. Let's look at some better ways to do it. Okay, let's break this down into what I call the hierarchy of help. Your approach totally changes depending on who you are talking to. With a friend, something casual like, hey, I could use your input is perfect. It shows you value their opinion. In a professional setting, try, I could use your expertise on this. It's so elegant. You are acknowledging their specific skills. And for something urgent, you have got to be direct but respectful. I know you are busy, but I'm in a bind. Could you spare 10 minutes? It's honest, it's specific, and it respects their time, which means you are much more likely to get trickier waters, difficult conversations. For so many people learning English, this is where it feels really high stakes, but I promise, with the right phrases in your pocket, you can handle disagreements with total grace and confidence. The most important thing to remember is the mindset. Disagreement isn't a battle you have to win, and is definitely not something you have to avoid. It's actually a huge opportunity to show your respective while also respecting someone else's. That's a serious communication skill. Here is a simple 3-step sequence that is so powerful. First, you validate them. Start with, I hear what you are saying. Then step 2, you show respect, and I respect that. It's only after those 2 steps that you pivot your own view. Here's how I say it though. See what that does? By validating them first, you make them feel heard so they don't get defensive. And that means they are way more likely actually listen to what you have to say. And what about setting boundaries? Saying no can feel so rude sometimes, right? But it absolutely doesn't have to be. Look at these phrases. They aren't just a hard no, they often offer an alternative like, I can't right now, but how about next week? Or they redirect the person, that's not my real area. But I know, are you? Yeah, but I know someone could help. You are actually being helpful while you are saying no, and people really respect that clarity. Okay, deep breath. We have navigated the tricky stuff. Now let's talk about the fun part, building a real rapport. This is how you go from just having transactional conversations to actually building solid relationships with people. Let's start with something basic as thank you. But even here, there are layers. A quick thanks so much is fine for little everyday things. But when someone really puts in some effort for you, upgrading to I really appreciate you helping me out, it means a lot, shows that you actually noticed. And for those times when someone is a total lifesaver, I couldn't have done this without you. That kind of specific, deep gratitude, it's incredibly powerful. And now for everyone's absolute favorite topic, small talk. So many of us feel like it's just pointless waste of time, but that's usually because we are thinking about it all wrong. Small talk isn't the point, it's the bridge that gets you a real connection. So how do you actually build that bridge? Well, here is the simple formula. To make your small talk way more meaningful, step 1, just observe something specific and comment on it like, hey, I noticed you were talking with the founder. Step 2, ask a real question, not just how are you, but something like, what was it about their company that interested you? And then the most important part, step 3, actually listen to their answer and ask a follow up question. This shows you are genuinely curious and it instantly turns a boring exchange into a real conversation. We have covered a ton of ground, so let's wrap this all up. Universal power phrases, and you can start using it like tomorrow. Think of these as your all purpose tools for more confident communication. If you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this: true fluency, real confidence, it's not about knowing every single grammar rule, it's about using language in a way that makes other people heard, feel respected, feel understood. It's all about building trust. So here they are. Think of these 5 phrases as your new secret weapons. Help me understand your perspective. That can stop argument in its tracks. I could be wrong, but shows you are humble but also confident and asking, what would be most helpful for you right now? That one is one of the kindest, most powerful questions you can ever ask someone. These really do work just about anywhere. Don't just watch this and forget about it. That doesn't help anyone. Look at this list again, and I want you to pick just one, seriously, just one phrase, and make a promise to yourself that you are going to try and use it in a real conversation and this week, because that is how you go from just knowing English to truly speaking it with confidence.